Right now, your smartphone is actively executing a highly engineered psychological tactic originally developed for Cold War interrogation. Every line of code in a timeline algorithm is optimized to bypass your critical thinking and target your brain's internal logic. These methods trace back to Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard, who developed a psychological framework known as the Alice in Wonderland technique. Hubbard used the bizarre, contradictory messaging of Lewis Carroll's text to flood a subject's mind until their grip on reality began to slip. When you interrupt the brain's routines with chaos, it hits a freeze point. In cognitive overload, the brain desperately locks on to the first solid command it receives. The subconscious accepts this instruction without scrutiny for mental relief, prioritizing stability over logic. Because this is a hardwired biological response, the human brain lacks a firewall, leaving us entirely defenseless against targeted algorithmic manipulation. Hubbard's technique transitioned from cult initiation to a government-funded psychological operation during the 1960s. In 1961, the CIA published the QBARC Counterintelligence Interrogation Manual, which copied the Alice in Wonderland technique almost word for word from Hubbard's own playbooks. The manual focuses on dismantling a subject's internal logic to overwrite their mind with a new narrative, treating the individual's personality as an obstacle to be removed. Today, this process is automated and deployed directly on your screen through a process called fractionation. This graph shows fractionation. As you scroll, algorithms force you through extreme emotional whiplash: fear, comedy, despair, hope. Each spike and crash fatigues logic. This cycle steadily increases your suggestibility, making you prone to absorbing whatever message follows the chaos. The fractured state of the modern timeline is a deliberate softening tool designed to exhaust your focus before a specific conclusion is presented. The 1962 Milgram experiment at Yale University demonstrated how easily these high levels of suggestibility translate into obedience. Volunteers were told to deliver increasing electric shocks to a stranger for answering questions incorrectly, testing how far they would go under an authority's direction. Even as the actor in the next room screamed in simulated agony, the scientist would calmly insist the experiment continue. The participants were torn between the human distress they heard and the simple command of the expert. The results were devastating. Every single participant reached 250 volts, and the vast majority delivered the maximum, potentially lethal shock. A replication of the study in 2010 yielded identical numbers, proving that the human brain remains highly susceptible to perceived authority across generations. On your phone, that authority is manufactured through falsified social proof, like thousands of bot comments and algorithmic likes, which tricks your brain into seeing an idea as tribal consensus. When you combine the cognitive confusion of timelines with artificial social proof, the digital environment effectively replicates the pressure of the Yale lab, driving a significant increase in compliance. The algorithm operates as an assembly line for the manufacturing and sale of a new identity. Constant emotional cycles leave the brain so fatigued that it eventually stops evaluating individual ideas and starts adopting prepackaged tribal labels. This new identity provides a sense of stability, ending the exhausting loop of confusion. This process is refined by hunting for specific markers of vulnerability. Experts like Chase Hughes have codified these in the Behavioral Table of Elements, which maps out human traits prone to manipulation. Behavioral data shows that individuals with exceptionally smooth lower eyelids have a higher propensity for entering trance states and accepting suggestions without resistance. We are currently attempting to defend an outdated mammalian brain against a trillion-dollar supercomputer armed with the most effective tactics of behavioral warfare. Once your identity has been successfully rewired, you will likely defend your new programming as if it were your own original thought, unaware of the automated process that placed it there. You are the subject in a continuous behavioral lab. Recognizing the emotional spin cycle in your own feed is the first step toward regaining control. Let us know in the comments if you've noticed these patterns in your scrolling habits.